Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm bringing you my goals for 2025. This is going to be a short and sweet video, hopefully, because I'll be honest, I don't really have that many goals for 2025. I've got them written down, I'll keep track of them, but honestly, there's not that many there. So we'll just swing right in with the first goal, which is to read 100 books. That is the same as it was last year and the year before. Currently I'm on like 150, so that's a nice easy number for me to reach. So that's always kind of my goal. I don't want to keep stretching it because the more I increase the goal, the more it stresses me out. So 100 is a nice even number, and so I'd like to keep it at 100 books. I would also like to get to the older books on my TBR. Now, it's not actually that bad. Like, when I say the oldest books on my TBR, we're not talking like books that have been there for years. I have 3 books on there that have been there for years, 2 of which have been picked from my 12 and 12, which I'll talk about in a second, and so there's 1 remaining. Those are the books that have been on my those are the books that are on my pre-2023 TBR, so books I bought or was gifted or somehow came into my house before 2023. I do have about 30-ish books that came into my library in 2023, so I would like to get them read, or I'd like to prioritise them over books that are coming in brand new, if that makes sense. I'm sure that makes sense. Now, swinging on from that, I would like to get my TBR down to, my goal last year was 30 and I'm nowhere near that. I'm about 60-ish. My goal is now to get it down to 60. I did change it to get it to 50, but 30 was the stretch goal. And this year I think I'm going to try and get my TBR down. Shall we keep it at 30? 30 in an ideal world, at the end of the year, my TBR will be sitting around 30 books. Moving on to my 12 and 12. Yes, I have the pot of doom again. So I have 12 friends who have popped in 12 books and 12 prompts. So they've all picked books from my TBR and given me prompts to pick a secondary book for each month. And each month I will pull a book from, or pull a name, from this and read their book and the prompt book for that month, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So in here, for example, I will show you, I have everybody's names. If you saw it last year, you'll know exactly what I mean. And so I will pull a name, and this, for example, says Smash, Heart of the Sun Warrior, and read a book inspired by my favourite colour. So I would read Heart of the Sun Warrior, and the one that I pulled that, and pick a book to do with my favourite colour. Does that make sense? I'm sure that makes sense. Additional to this year, I would like to get my Kindle library read because things go on my Kindle to disappear. I did not realise just how many books I had on my TBR on my Kindle, and I also have KU for 3 months for 99p, so the Kindle really needs to actually start working for me. So what I've done, or what Tori has done, is she has put all of my Kindle books onto slips of paper into this very stuffed mug, and so each month, or just whenever I feel like it, I will dip my hand into here and pull out a book, and that will be my Kindle book read, just so I can get on top of the Kindle books. I got a lot of Kindle books on the Stuff Your Kindle days, so I really need to get through all of them. I don't necessarily need to finish them, like I can DNF them, but you know, I want to at least get them into use of some kind. I don't know. Now, continuing on the book TBR route, I also want to reread a lot more this year because there are so many books that are on my shelves that I want to reread, but I've been so focused on trying to get my TBR down that I've not been rereading as much as I could have. And that is to my detriment because I love rereading books. My library is based on rereading books. Like, I have a rule for my library that if I wouldn't reread it, it doesn't stay. So every book on my shelves, I would happily reread. Yes, I have duplicates and special editions and things like that, but generally the stories that I have on my shelves are stories that I would reread, and a lot of them have been getting neglected over the past few years because I've been so focused on new books that I've not been getting back to rereading some of my old favourites. And the shelves themselves. I am so close to my goal of having 1,000 books in my library. And that is what I want to aim for. I thought I was going to be able to do it by the end of this year, but I don't think, with the best will in the world, I don't think I can do that. I have, I think, 58 books to go until I hit my 1,000 book library. Now, I am not going to go out and buy 58 random books. There's no way I'm getting 58 books. I don't even have 58 books on my wish list. Like, that is not something I can do right now. I do have one more pre-order to come in, so that's not really that helpful, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, so hopefully by next year I will have a proper definition library. And the final one for my reading is that I would like to find and pick up more sci-fi. I've been going on a sort of journey of discovery this year, and I've discovered that I absolutely adore romance, and I've been finding so many romance novels that I love, and I mean, I'm looking at my romance shelves and they are absolutely stacked full right now, and I'm loving that. I'm so enjoying that so much. So yes, I've been realising how much I love romance, but more specifically, I've realised this year just how much I actually love sci-fi. I never liked sci-fi. In fact, I was somebody who would say that sci-fi is just not my genre. But that is because I was expecting sci-fi to be like epic space opera, Star Wars in book form, Star Trek, alien ships, battles, that sort of thing. That is not my thing. That's why I don't read fantasy, because that's not my thing. I prefer interpersonal relationships, which is why I've been loving the romance books I've been loving, which is why I love things like historical fiction, especially based around true events. It's the reason I love things like Heartstopper and the Chloe novels and Lessons in Chemistry and AJ West's book. Like, that's why I love these books, because they're so character heavy, and I didn't know that sci-fi could be like that. And it all really started with, obviously, The Martian. We know that, but that's more on the contemporary side of sci-fi than it is sci-fi. But then Becky Chambers really blew open my sort of world for that, because she has, like, her first book in the Wayfarer series is set on a spaceship with aliens, and yet it is so dedicated to interpersonal relationships. And so that's what I want in my sci-fi, and thanks to Vicky, I've been finding so many sci-fi books that I absolutely love. Like, I've got a shelf full of sci-fi now, and I would just love to find more sci-fi that is sort of my kind of sci-fi. So that's where I want to go in this year. So I do have a couple of 2025 goals I want to sort of record here to, I don't know, for posterity, I suppose, that are not book related. So one is kind of adjacent, so it is related to my channel, and that is to continue my EDS series. I only ever filmed one video, and that's because the next video I want to film is about the symptoms and signs, and to do that I'm going to have to do physical things like show the baiting tests, and talk about things that are a bit more personal. So I've just been putting it off because I've not been feeling great to do it. So I want to continue that series because I feel like it is going to be beneficial to other people, whether you be disabled, have EDS, or just know somebody who is disabled and or has EDS. And finally, related to my EDS, I have recently been seen by the physio service at my hospital again, and they've given me more exercises. I've started swimming and going to an aqua aerobics class, and I just want to continue to do that, continue to go to the gym and continue my physio and continue to do swimming and get myself more fit and stronger. And the whole point is to try and like strengthen my muscles so that I can hopefully it should help with the pain, it should help with the fatigue, it should help with the dislocations and things like that. So the whole point is the physio trying to get me back into these specific things that are going to help. And thankfully this time I got a physio who knows about EDS, he knows about connective tissue issues, he knew what he was talking about, whereas the last one it was, well, this worked for fibromyalgia, why don't we give it a try? Fibromyalgia is a very different thing from EDS, so they need very different things. So this guy actually knew specifically what he was talking about. A lot more known about EDS now and like physios and stuff like that, so that was great. And so I've got more specific exercises from him and advice from him on how to go forward, so hopefully we can continue doing that. I'm really enjoying swimming. It's been 16ish years since I've been in the pool last, up until recently, and I used to swim all the time. Like, me and my friends used to go every weekend to the swimming pool and go and swim, and I just really got out of habit of it, and then I never ended up going back in the pool because when you study forensics you learn a lot of gross things about a lot of places, and my sort of germ phobia side of my anxiety kind of flared up, and it really took me months of actively, like, I was saying to my friends and I was saying to Kay that I wanted to get back in the pool, and I was like working myself up to getting back in the pool. And then like one of my local pools, not the one I go to but another one local, was having like a lot of contamination issues, and that was just setting off my contamination fear and my germ phobia and stuff like that. Like, it was just really, really setting me off and making me really anxious. So I just couldn't get myself to get back in the pool. And then I ended up going to my local swimming pool, and it was great. It was really empty. There was not very many people there. It was really clean. It didn't smell like chlorine, which the chlorine smell you get from pools is when it's reacting with something. So the less chlorine smell, the cleaner the pool, as far as I understand it. Or not the cleaner, because the chlorine will clean. Like, the chlorine will kill just about anything. But, like, the less contaminants are in the water. And even though I know the chances of, like, something happening from pool water, my brain couldn't get around it. So I've managed to get myself through that. I have been going to the pool. It has been really good. I have been feeling really good afterwards. And yeah, I just need to continue on that vein. That is it. That is all of my goals for 2025. I may pop up with a few more throughout the year. I did that this year. You know, I had ones that weren't necessarily thought of at the start, but I continued, I thought about them as I went through. And yeah, I'm not having any sort of video goals or anything like that. I will not be putting up as many videos. So like I say, I'm being seen by the physio at the hospital. I've been seen by dermatology for urticaria. My immune system basically is attacking my mast cells, causing me to come out in full body hives, and like have facial swelling and like not like anaphylaxis, but like that sort of big lip, swollen face, closed eye sort of thing. So I've been seeing dermatology for that. I've got my 2 neuros that I see for my migraines. Like, I'm under a lot of hospital care right now. I'm under a lot of specialists and seeing the doctor and speaking to the pharmacists, and I'm going through a lot medically right now, and I am exhausted. Like, I'm trying to do my job because I have a part-time job. It's only 20 hours. It's not a labour intensive job, but it's still, you know, something I have to do routinely, regardless of whether I've gotten a good sleep or not. I've been struggling with reactions that I've had to medicines that I've been put on, that I've still not managed to sort of solve. My migraines still haven't been solved. Like, I'm still permanently in a state of migraine. You know, there's so much going on that I don't think that I can consistently keep up with all the plates that I'm spinning and stay healthy and happy. Like, I literally had a cry the other night because I was feeling so overwhelmed, and most of that feeling of overwhelmedness was coming from my reading and coming from my channel. So I have decided that I'm going to step back a bit. So I won't be posting 2 videos a week. I won't be posting consistent videos. So I was saying in my vlog that I have not had a chance this year to do specific vlog videos to do with my TBR that I wanted to do. I wanted to reread one of my favourite series and vlog the experience of it. I didn't get a chance to do that. I wanted to do one where a spinner wheel, or like picking like that thing with my Kindle stuff in it, like keep picking throughout the vlog, because I would have to have a set TBR. And there's so many things that I wanted to try that I didn't get a chance to because I was like, no, it doesn't fit into my regimented video schedule. And so I want to just get rid of the regimented schedule, get rid of the expectation of 2 videos a week, get rid of the expectation that you'll get a vlog and then a sit down video, a vlog. You'll get what you get. And that's just how it's going to have to be, because mentally and physically I'm not able to keep up, and YouTube is the one thing that's the easiest to sort of back away from, because it's not like I say, I've got a job. It's not any social income. I get nothing from this YouTube channel. It is purely a hobby, and it is no longer becoming fun. It is making me feel like I'm not reading enough. It is making me feel like I'm not reading the right kind of books. Just the book sphere online kind of area at the moment is making me feel bad about myself and bad about my reading, and I feel like I need to step back. So that's what's going to be happening. I'm going to be stepping back from YouTube and not posting as much. I will still be posting. I will post when and what my heart desires, rather than no, it has to be this on this day, and it has to be this on this day, and then it has to be like, none of that. That's not going to be happening anymore, because it was just stressing me out. And for a hobby, it's not worth it. Like, I can understand if this was like a full-time job, like the creators that do this full-time, I don't know how they do it, because, well, if they're doing it full-time, they don't have another job. But like, people who do this full-time and have a job, I don't know how they do it, because it genuinely is one of the biggest causes of stress for me at the moment. So it is just something that's going to have to be sit down for him. And I don't know if you can hear, but my brother-in-law is playing a game on his computer in the other room, and I can hear him yelling, so I don't know if you can hear him yelling. Filming is also not easy in this house, between Hamish doing stuff, Douglas playing games, Kay wanting to use her computer, which is in this room. Like, it's not always conducive to filming. So yeah, I actually feel a massive weight off my shoulder making that decision. Like I say, I'll film and post what and when I want, so it might be that I do post quite a lot, it might be that I don't, but I'm not going to give myself like a strict, stressful routine of it, and that makes sense. That's that. I'm sorry if I've missed anything. If you have any questions or care enough, feel free to ask in the comments. I know that a lot of the time, a lot of the people that are watching tend to just be my friend group, and I know that, like, obviously I don't have, my views and stuff have been really, really low, like 15 and stuff. Not my, like, it's not like loads of people are hinging on me making videos. So I need to stop acting like I'm required to do this in some way, you know? So yeah, look after yourself. Take my advice. Do as I say, not as I do, because you will burn out. Like, I have so much going on behind the scenes that I am just burning out, and I'm really, really struggling, and I don't want to push myself, because that's just not going to help. Anyway, that's it for me. If you want to let me know you were here and you don't want to leave a comment, if you leave some kind of self-care emoji in the thing, I don't know what you would even do for that. Let me know if you have goals for 2025, or if you're feeling if you're feeling overwhelmed. Hamish apparently is feeling overwhelmed because he can hear Douglas but he can't see him, so now he's whining at the door. Honestly, this house is, there's only the three of us and Hamish, and it's like bedlam. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.